So this video is all about these 8 critical e-commerce automations that could be generating tens of thousands of dollars in revenue for your business yearly, in some cases monthly, depending on your turnover. Now, let me start here. If you're only using whatever automation, like an abandoned cart email that was included in the e-commerce platform that your business is set up on, you haven't done this yet. And what I'm about to tell you can increase revenues by up to 21%, sometimes more. So for example, if your business is turning over, let's say $300K a month, we're talking here about up to $60,000 a month in revenue that's being left on the table. And that's $720,000 a year, by the way, doing the math for you. But that's, in many cases, that's a lot of money for businesses that's being left on the table. And I can't tell you how many times I've been surprised for businesses that are doing really well and haven't done these basic steps. And that's something that surprises me every time. And I understand that I think the reason for this is because some businesses do what they do really well. There's a reason why they built themselves up to this point. But yeah, they just haven't done this yet, and no use crying over spilled milk. You should definitely get on this right away on these 8 critical e-commerce automations. And the first one is a welcome series, which means that you need to be proactively collecting email addresses from your users when they come to the website, new users. Ask them for their email address and give them some incentive to give it to you. It should be something that's strong, something that would be really appealing to your specific customer. In some cases, a discount is good, like 10% off for first-time customer. In other cases, a giveaway product with your first purchase. And there could be other non-tangible things that you can give away, like a PDF download that might be interesting to your users. So the point is that you want to make sure that you're incentivizing people to give you their email address, and then you put them into a welcome series. And the welcome series should be doing a few things. It should be bite-sized emails spread out, at least 5 emails. And you can add many more than that, spread out over a period of 1 to 3 months or longer. And the point is that each email, initially you want to just answer common questions about the business, talk about your reputation, if you've got any type of certifications or things that might boost the confidence of your customers, answer common questions about delivery times, warranty, things like that, and then move on into sharing exciting, interesting things like exciting new products that came in media mentions that happen, things like that. So that's the welcome series, and that email series is typically the most profitable of all of them. So if you're not doing that yet, you should definitely be doing that. So number 1 is a welcome series. Number 2 is if a user they're on the website, they've given you their email address already, and now they start to look around, but they didn't add anything to their cart. We call that browse abandonment. They looked around, possibly didn't find what they were looking for. Maybe they had a question. Send them an email. Hey, did you have a question? Did you find what you were looking for? Can we help you? So that's the nature of a browse abandonment email. And the next is if a user adds an item to cart but doesn't continue to check out. We call that cart abandonment, which is different than checkout abandonment, because the user, if they added an item to cart, that shows some commitment to making a purchase, but they didn't make that final step. They didn't walk towards the checkout counter. They didn't proceed to checkout. So maybe they had a question. Maybe they just got distracted. Send them an email. Remind them that you're holding their cart for them. Offer to answer any questions about the product or generally about your business. Give them easy access to your communication channels. If you're on WhatsApp, give them a link to chat with you on WhatsApp. If you're on Facebook Messenger or any other communication channels that might be relevant to them and that you actually answer. So that's your abandoned cart email. Now let's say the user adds an item to cart, it continues to check out, and they start the checkout process, but they leave. There are many reasons why people leave the checkout process, and in general, across every industry, there are a lot more people who start checkout than those who complete it. So there's a lot of money that's being left in checkouts, people who don't complete it, in some cases because of a technical glitch, because their credit card got declined, because they had a question that they needed answered. So try to hit on all those points. Answer frequently asked questions in your abandoned checkout email. Address the fact that they may have had a technical issue and offer assistance with that. If they had a declined credit card, maybe you've got a payment plan option. Or you have a service like Sezzle, for example, that offers people to split up into multiple payments, or if their card was declined because it got flagged by their credit card company, offer them an alternative. If they tried paying directly by a credit card, you can offer them to pay via Google Pay or Apple Pay, PayPal, and other payment options that credit card companies typically see as more secure and less likely to have a legitimate transaction flagged. So those are the kind of things you want to address in your abandoned checkout. And I would say between the abandoned cart, abandoned checkout, and welcome series, those are your biggest money makers. And if you don't have that, and if you have just one email set up for all that, you're not doing it yet. So definitely each one should be at least, welcome series should be at least 5, cart abandonment should be 1 or 2, checkout abandonment should be 2 or 3 emails. So moving along, the next automation, the critical automation, is a customer thank you email after their first purchase, possibly also after their second purchase. And this one is interesting because by itself, it's just a thank you. Just thank you for purchasing from us. But I have been surprised at how much revenue this particular email has brought in. Minimally, it's about building customer relationships and genuinely thanking them for trusting your business, for making a purchase. So that's its critical function. But if you put some links back into your website, I have been surprised at how often this has led to additional sales. In some cases, this email is more profitable than the cart abandonment email. Go explain that. But definitely a really important automation to put in. So that's number 6. Number 6 would be a review request. You want to send and the timing on this is really important. You want to send a request for a review, but don't send it if the customer didn't get the product yet. That's just going to annoy them. Why are you asking me for a review? You didn't even deliver the product, right? So you want to make sure that the review request goes out after the customer receives the product. And that is not always so easy. In some cases, like ShipStation, for example, offers an integration which allows you to actually trigger an email based on when the customer received the product. So that's best. If that's not possible for your business or your setup, then just send the email at the latest possible time that they could have gotten their order for normal order delivery. So let's say the latest time is 2 weeks after the order was processed. So that's when that email gets sent out. And the first email I like to send out for a review request is to simply review the product. And I typically send this out to new customers. Please come back to the website, leave a review of the product or of our business on our website. And then for returning customers, I'd like to also try and feed our social proof. So ask them to leave a review on Facebook for their second purchase, for example, the third purchase, on your Google listing, on your Trustpilot listing, and anywhere else where people are leaving reviews about your business to help bolster your reputation, which will ultimately impact your company's reputation and conversion rates on the website. So that's number 6, the review request. Number 7 is the customer win-back email. So this is an important one, and depending on your business, this could be more or less important. So customer win-back is an email series that's sent to users who purchased once, but then haven't purchased for some time. So let's say your business sells face creams, and the typical usage is that people finish it up within 30 days. Well, if the person hasn't purchased again within 30 days, so maybe after 30 days or 45 days, say, hey, do you need more face cream? Right? Come back, make a purchase, or we've got a new cream for you to try. Check this one out. So that's the customer win-back automation. And what I typically like to do is I'll send one email, and then if they don't purchase, a week later, send them another email that offers some type of incentive, like a discount, take 5% or free shipping off your next order. So that's the customer win-back. And finally, we have 8. And this one is the newest addition to my typical e-commerce setup. And these are product or category specific drip campaigns. I usually try to, just as a starting point, I'll start with 2 of these. I'll pick the 2 hottest products and create a drip campaign for each one. Like the welcome series, this is a series of emails that's broken out over a period of days, weeks, and months that is designed to loop a person back in, answer their questions, excite them about a product. But now we have a lot more information. If they've already, let's say, added an item to cart and then they never completed a purchase, 2 weeks later, we can start to send them a drip series for that particular product and send them, more photos of the product, more information about the product, answer questions, highlight good reviews of the product, things like that to excite them and bring them back and loop them back in for a purchase. And I've seen some really good results with this. The 2 things that it's important to be aware of is that it takes work to set up each of these drip campaigns. If you've got 10,000 SKUs in your store, you can't do it for every single one. So you kind of have to pick which ones are the most profitable or most popular, or a combination of those 2. And you start there and then you slowly add to it over time. And the only other thing that I would mention is that you want to be careful if you got 2 drip campaigns set up for 2 different products and someone is triggered into both of those segments. You want to be careful not to send them too many emails. So there are various ways of being careful about overwhelming your users with emails and avoiding being spammy. So You do want to be careful about that. So those are 8 critical e-commerce automations that I think every e-commerce business should have. And if you don't have it yet, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. I hope that was helpful.